how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. It is that time again to rank my last 10 palettes that I tried. I'm nervous about this one because I truly love every single one. I do not want one single person getting mad at me of what's in like 10th place, because just because it's in 10th place does not mean I dislike it. This was truly just such a good roundup of palettes this time around. It was near impossible to rank these. It's not that I dislike number 10 or number 9 or number 8 or any of them. It just happened to be my least favorite compared to the things in the top, if that makes sense. But in general, as far as palettes that I have tried, I love all of these. Like, I don't see myself decluttering any of these at the end of the year. They are all so super good. This was really tough, and I'm really excited to share them with you. As always, I got this ranking my palettes idea from my friend Annette from Annette's Makeup Corner. I will have her channel linked down below for you. And also, if you think I'm forgetting a palette, I promise you I'm not. I take very thorough notes. If you think I'm forgetting something, it was either in the last ranking, I haven't tried it yet and it'll be in the next ranking, or I simply don't have it and you are mistaken, my friend. Also, before we hop into the ranking, I did of course film this look. It should already be on my channel by the time this video goes up. It's part of my 2 looks video with my new Cosmic Brushes palettes, the Delicious Delights and the Serenity palette, so you can go check that out if you are interested. As far as my accessories today go, I don't know where this choker's from. It is old, but these earrings are from Spooky Doodle Club on Etsy. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop in and rank my last 10 palettes. Okay, kicking it off with number 10, and I again cannot stress it enough. I don't dislike this palette. It just happened to be the one I'm least likely to reach for, and I have my very specific reasons. So let's get into it. Number 10 is my Sigma Angela Bright palette. I love this. I'm so proud of Angela. I'm so excited about this collab. I think they did such a great job together. It's beautiful. It's stunning. I'm super excited about it. I played with all of these palettes throughout my various platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, all that good stuff. So if you want to see some inspo, it's out there for you already. But this one is beautiful. I've really had a great time playing with it. I think Sigma's eyeshadows are really nice quality. The mattes are very pigmented and they seem to blend really well. And the shimmers are super pretty, super glossy and wet looking. I really enjoy them. The only reason I ranked this one number 10 is just because it is very like basic neutral focused with pops of color, and I don't tend to reach for that first. I'm more likely to reach for everything else first. But again, that's not to say I dislike this palette. I think it's a really wonderful palette. I felt really pretty every time I wear it. I love the shade names in here. Overall, I think they did a great job with it, and just because it's in 10th place does not mean I dislike it. I like it quite a lot. I'm just, as far as these specific 10 go, just the least likely to reach for it, but I think it's fantastic. Moving on to number 9, I'm giving it to my Clionadh Deep Sea Treasures palette. It's a little multi-chrome palette with 8 little multi-chromes in it. They're all so super pretty. I've used this as a companion a couple times over the last like month or so. I feel like I've had it about a month now, and it's beautiful. I love Clionagh's formula. They're just absolutely insane. This saltwater pearl makes a beautiful like minty face highlight. It's so good. I thought I was gonna rank this one higher, honestly, just because it is beautiful. Like, it's stunning, but I just feel like compared to the other things that I have to talk about, like the likelihood of me reaching for this as a companion palette versus the other things that I have to talk about, it was just a little bit lower. So that's why I wanted to rank it number 9. Again, it's not bad. Nothing in this roundup is bad today. But it just didn't end up getting crept any higher up. I just felt like everything else deserved to be bumped up a little bit more. Moving on to number 8, I'm giving it to this giant palette, the Ellie Star Brittany Huffman collab with Bella Beauty Bar, the Best Matte palette. Kind of a fun little best friends all matte eyeshadow palette. This is humongous. We have 36 pans in here. It looks like this. These pans are all magnetic and removable as well. Mine is actually rearranged a bit based on a video I saw Brittany Huffman post on Instagram a while back, just because I preferred this layout a little bit more than the default. But the best thing about this is you can rearrange it however you want. This is fantastic. The formula is really good. Bella Beauty Bar has really stepped up their matte game this year, and these are fantastic. I love that even though this is a really big palette and it's like overall, by all intents and purposes, a rainbow palette, I like that it has unique shades. Like, there's pops of neon, pops of dingy grungy shades, pops of pastel. We have a really good variety in here, and even though I don't tend to prefer giant palettes, I think this one was done really well. I can see myself reaching for this one again, especially just because you do have that mixture of like different kinds of undertones with the pastels and the neons and the grunge, and it's all good things, and I was really excited about it. The only reason I didn't want to rank this one higher is just because I don't tend to reach for giant palettes, and I also don't tend to do all matte looks very often, which, I mean, this is perfect for including with like a companion or single shadows or something like that. You could even pluck your single shadows into this palette if you wanted to. But just as it stands for what it is, I'm more likely to just reach for the other things for ease and that sense of just it's all in one place already for me. But again, this is a really wonderful palette if you're looking for a ton of mattes in one place that you can move around and make your own custom palettes with. This could be a really fun one to grab. I've really enjoyed it. Ranked number 7, I'm giving it to the Gourmet Girls collab with Sirius Soto, the Warriors Wear Pink palette. This is beautiful. Look how pretty she is. It's so stinking cute. I love a pink, purple, red color story. I just think that's such a fun combo. And this pop of turquoise like makes my life. I think this is such a beautiful, not only theme, like I love the concept behind this palette, but just the color story itself is so stinking cute, so pretty. I love that it's very colorful and kind of funky. It makes me happy. So I wanted to rank this one here. We're kind of in that like zone where I really could have put like everything between 5 to 8 in all sorts of different orders, but I ended up putting this one here. The next couple I just feel like I'm drawn to a little bit more, like maybe it's a formula I'm more into, or just there was something about it that made me put this one where it is. But yeah, this is number 7. I think it's really fun. I've had a great time with it, and I just really like Gourmet Girls formula overall. The Spooked palette with Doodles by the Bunny is such a good one from them as well. Moving on now to number 6, rounding out the bottom 5 of this recent 10 palettes. This fantastic, wonderful recent 10 palettes. These were all so good. Number 6, I'm giving to my Nomad Cosmetics Okavango Safari palette. This one is so pretty. I love this. And I already know what you're thinking. Betty Jean, there's neutrals in there. Yes, but differently. These are my kind of neutrals because they're like dingy and grungy. I love the mixture of the swampy greens in here and these like weird steely grays, this weird mustardy color, this like goldy chartreusey shade. There's just such weird, funky, swampy shades in here that I had no choice but to rank this one a little bit higher. Like, I love Nomad. I love their formulas. The mattes are so like buildable and easy to blend and very beginner friendly in my opinion. And the shimmers are just so glossy and beautiful. And I personally haven't had like a hard pan issue like other people have claimed to have. Like all of mine are still like so sparkly. I don't know if there was like a batch issue or something like that, but I personally have not had an issue with any of my shades acting weird. So for me, this palette's fantastic, a really fun lineup to what Nomad already has, and I just think this one is really cute. Just such a cool, like funky, swampy with neutrals palette, and I can get down with that. Moving on to the top 5 of this roundup. Number 5 is my Unearthly Cosmetics Don't Be Jelly palette. This is kind of like the re-release of the Don't Be Jelly, I suppose. I feel like I still don't really understand why Don't Be Jelly, because the original Don't Be Jelly is like nothing even similar to this. It's like a 9-pan all shimmer palette with like completely different shades. I feel like this one should have just had a different name entirely, but regardless, it doesn't matter because I love it. I think it's fantastic. This is such a cool color story. I love just these like rich, cool tone, jewel tone shades. The shimmers in here are so good, so shifty and mouth-watering and fantastic. Overall, this is really, really nice. I love Unearthly Cosmetics as a brand, and this palette is so super fun. I also love the size of it. I love the thinner rectangle with the small square pans. It makes me happy. Moving on to number 4, my top 4 were like completely a no-brainer for me. Like there was no disputing it. These were gonna be in my top 4. There was no competition. Number 4 is my Delicious Delights palette from Cosmic Brushes. It's actually what's on my eyeballs right now. I am loving this. Cosmic Brushes has quickly become one of my favorite brands. I fell in love with the Muse palette earlier this year, and I'm in love with their newest release, the Delicious Delights. It looks like this. It's so super pretty. We have a good mixture of like pastels, brights, jewel tones, really pretty shimmers in here. This multi-chrome that's all over my lids is just insane. I love this. I think it's so much fun, very playful and colorful, and still offers some uniqueness. And I really like how the columns are laid out. Like we kind of have the yellowy minty colors, then we have the pinky shades into the purples, into the blues. It's all just really fun for me, and I knew this one had to be ranked here. The top 3 definitely stole my heart a little bit more, so I couldn't rank this one higher than number 4, but very much deserves to be in the top 5. Number 3 is my Shroud Cosmetics Peaches and Dreams palette. I love this. I think it's so super pretty. Looks like this. It's just such a fun situation. We have such a cool combination of like peachy tones with the blue, purple, green. The shimmers in here are insane. Shroud has been just like improving their shimmers tenfold with each release. I'm just so impressed. Shroud's been one of my favorite brands for years and years, and it just keeps getting better. And I'm so excited to see what more is to come. I love this one. I love the shimmer so much. Glisten is just such a top tier shade. Like, look how pretty that is. I can't. So yeah, this one had to be ranked high. I stand by number 3 spot. The top 2 definitely like beat this one out, but this one definitely deserved to be number 3. Moving on to number 2, it's got to go to my Serenity palette from Cosmic Brushes. I'm so happy I finally own this one. I missed out on it last year, and I've managed to miss all the restocks because it comes and goes so fast, but thankfully this restocked at the same time as the Delicious Delight, so I was able to snag it, and it is so super good. Like, I definitely needed to own this one sooner because it's just so pretty. I love the mixture of like the bright shades with some pastels and some really rich, dark, deep jewel tones. The shimmers are so gorgeous. I'm really excited to play with this one some more. I plan on bringing this one and the Delicious Delights with me on my upcoming vacation, actually. I think they'll be a fun little combo just to have in my bag and give me a lot of options. So yeah, this is just fantastic. Again, the mattes are beautiful to work with. The shimmers are absolutely stunning, and I'm obsessed with this color story, so ranking at number 2 was a no-brainer for me. And finally, ranked number 1. I don't think this will be a surprise. It's really rare when this brand doesn't come in first place for me, honestly. But it's gonna be my Blend Bunny Sugar and Grunge palette. This is such a fun palette. I love the theming. I love the size. It's still a little bigger than I tend to gravitate towards, but it's definitely smaller than their typical large palettes. And I love that it's still the classic gradient that we see with Blend Bunny, but with like a very specific theme. I think it's so fun. We have like the rosy tones, those like grungy teals, the dark greens, the plummy shades. It's just such a cool mixture of like cutesy pastels, but with a grungy twist. I love the shimmers that are in here. Blend Bunny's another brand where the shimmers just keep getting stepped up every time, and I'm so excited to see it. I know the bottom row bugs some people how it's not in order with like the matte columns, but honestly, I didn't even notice until it was pointed out to me. Doesn't really bother me. If anything, it gets my creative juices flowing more because I can like eyeball more color combos this way, but overall, Blend Bunny is one of my favorite brands of all time. I feel like Blend Bunny can do no wrong. I'm wearing one of their liquid lipsticks today. I just think the matte formula is one of the best in my whole collection. It's so unmatched. It's so easy to blend and easy to work with, and it's foolproof, especially with the way her palettes are set up, because you have all the shades you could possibly need to blend out the darkest shade. And the shimmers, as they've been getting better and better, they're just like so glossy and yummy and sparkly. I just love them. So this one had to be number 1. I feel like it's well deserved, and overall, again, I'm just really excited about this specific roundup of 10 palettes. I would love to hear your thoughts. What are you thinking? Did my ranking make sense to you? Did it surprise you at all? I would love to know what you're thinking about these palettes. Do you own any? Do you want any? And if you want, feel free to rank the most recent palettes you've tried. I'd love to know what you've been using. If you made it to the end of this video, leave your last 10 most recently used emojis. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me on my other socials. You can join the battybean fam. I'm battybean on everything: Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And if you want, you can subscribe. If you want to see more of my videos, I'm posting most days here as well. Also, feel free to join my channel memberships. The link to sign up will be down below. You'll get fun little perks, including a members only get ready with me once a month, and you'll get access to the ones I've already uploaded. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.